Now it's time for Benny on Parents on Toons. Up next, it's SpongeBob SquarePants on Toons. I know what I want to do with my life. Through the changing room. There's more SpongeBob SquarePants after the break on Toons. Up next, it's Breadwinners on Toons.
You've been a wonderful audience.
Happy Quacky.
Do I need deodorant?
This calls for a celebration.
That's ridiculous.
Up next, it's Breadwinners on Toons. Now it's time for Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. Up next, it's Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. Now it's time for Sanjay and Craig on Toons. Up next, it's Rocket Monkeys on Toons.
We're killing it! Woohoo!
Awesome!
Wait, what?
Now it's time for Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. Up next, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks on Toons. I can't do it. Now it's time for Alvin and the Chipmunks on Toons.
That's another good people. Get ready for Sanjay and Craig next on Toons. And up next on Naked, Henry Danger.
Up next on Toons, use your loaf, it's Breadwinners. Or over on Nick, it's Super Family Time. Ooh, with the Thundermans. Now we're back to brand new Bunsen is a Beast on Toons.
Up next on Toons, get your Dude on with Sanjay and Craig. Or over on Nick, it's time for her out of the Thundermans.
Up next, it's Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. Now it's time for Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. There's more Fairly Odd Parents after the break on Toons. You're watching Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. Up next is brand new show, The Loud House on Toons. Now it's time for brand new show, The Loud House on Toons. There's more new show, The Loud House, after the break on Toons. Now we're back to new show, The Loud House on Toons. Up next, it's Power Rangers Megaforce on Toons. Now it's time for Power Rangers Megaforce on Toons. Now it's time for Rocket Monkeys on Toons. Up next, it's Ren and Stimpy on Toons. Now it's time for Ren and Stimpy on Toons. There's more Ren and Stimpy after the break on Toons. You're watching Ren and Stimpy on Toons. Up next, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks on Toons. I can't do it. Now it's time for Alvin and the Chipmunks on Toons. We've got more from Alvin and the Chipmunks after the break on Toons. Now we're back to Alvin and the Chipmunks on Toons.
Gross, man. Was that you?
Next, it's Fanboy and Chum Chum on Toons. Now it's time for Fanboy and Chum Chum on Toons. There's more Fanboy and Chum Chum after the break on Toons. You're watching Fanboy and Chum Chum on Toons. Now it's time for Rabbit's Invasion on Toons. There's more Rabbit's Invasion after the break on Toons.
Rabbit's Invasion! On Toons.
I'm in a room full of bacon.
Happy Quacky.
Was incredible! Wow! Fantastic! Time to wrap it up. Wait, what?
Come on, boss man.
Okay.
Too busy to talk anyway.
Do I need deodorant?
Gross, man. Was that you?
The Rugrats are all grown up. Up next on Toons. Aw, now it's time to see the Rugrat kids all grown up on Toons. All grown up will be back after the break on Toons. Now back to all grown up on Toons.
Up next, it's Rocket Monkeys on Toons. There's more Rocket Monkeys after the break on Toons. You're watching Rocket Monkeys on Toons. Now it's time for Rocket Monkeys on Toons.
Up next, it's Rocket Monkeys on Toons.
It's time for brand new breadwinners only on Toons. Now it's time for brand new Sanjay Plague on Toons. Now it's time for the SpongeBob special, Atlantis SquarePants on Toons.
Up next, it's Invader Zim on Toons. Now it's time for Invader Zim on Toons. Now we're back to the Alvin Takeover Marathon, you lucky, lucky people on Toons. Psst, there's more from the Alvin Takeover Marathon after the break on Toons.
Now it's time for brand new SpongeBob SquarePants on Toons. I watched you that guitar. We got more new SpongeBob SquarePants after the break on Toons. Now we're back to new SpongeBob SquarePants on Toons.
Do I need deodorant?
That's just wrong.
Up next, it's Daddy of Parents on Toons. There's more Daddy of Parents after the break on Toons. You're watching Fairly Odd Parents on Toons. There's more Fairly Odd Parents after the break on Toons.
Up next, it's Fairly Odd Parents on Toons.
You're watching Fairly Odd Parents on Toons.
Next, it's Haunted Henry on Nicktoons. Now it's time for Haunted Henry on Nicktoons. There's more Haunted Henry after the break on Nicktoons. Now it's back to Haunted Henry on Nicktoons.
Up next, it's Kung Fu Panda on Toons. Now it's time for Kung Fu Panda on Toons. There's more Kung Fu Panda after the break on Toons. You're watching Kung Fu Panda on Toons. Now it's time for brand new Kung Fu Panda on Toons.
Now it's time for the Smurfs on Nicktoons. Up next, it's the Smurfs on Nicktoons. Now it's time for Middlemost Post on Nicktoons. There's more from the Loud House Takeover Marathon after the break on Toons. Now we're back to the Loud House Takeover Marathon on Toons. There's more from the SpongeBob Takeover Marathon after the break on Toons. Now we're back to the SpongeBob Takeover Marathon. Huzzah! On Toons. Now it's the brand new show Bunsen is a Beast on Toons. There's more from the brand new show Bunsen is a Beast after the break Now it's back to the brand new show, Bunsen is a Beast, on Toons. Now it's the new show, Massive Monster Mayhem, on Toons. Coming up next, it's the adventures of Kid Danger, on Nicktoons. Now it's time for the adventures of Kid Danger, right here on Nicktoons. There's more from the adventures of Kid Danger, coming up after the break, on Nicktoons. Now let's get back to the adventures of Kid Danger, right here on Nicktoons. Up next on Toons, it's the Larry Lunatics of the Loud House. While over on Nick, it's the Half-Pint Hero, brand new Danger, Henry Danger.
Now it's time for Fairly Odd Parents on Toons.
Now it's time for Fairly Odd Parents on Toons.